Hello bankers, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome back. So guys, in this particular session we are going to discuss and decode our unit number 16th, which is all about cash flow statement, right? So we have done with the previous session from your module B. So now it is all about your cash flow statement and fund flow statement. So when it comes to this particular unit, majorly means 90% this particular topic, this particular the content is around the cash flow statement. And the reason behind this is like as per Indian accounting standard 1 as well as your accounting standard 1. So when companies when it comes to the final accounts, okay, so it is mandatory they have to prepare three major accounts. One is profit and loss account, another one is balance sheet, and then next one is cash flow statement. Okay, that's why you will see like 90% time, like, and every time you'll see at least one question for 2 marks based on your cash flow statement, and one question which is mostly the differences between cash flow and fund flow, again for 2 marks. So the weightage of this particular our session is around 3 to 4 marks, and very small units, easy to understand, and you will be able to make or secure those particular one, right? So when it comes to unit number 16, cash flow and fund flow statements, so we have component of cash flow, legal requirement of cash flow, then we have format and benefit of cash flow statement, fund flow statement, preparation of fund flow statement. Okay? So the difference between cash flow and fund flow is cash flow basically these are inflow and outflow of cash during that particular accounting period or financial year. But when it comes to fund flow statement, it is basically the sources of funds and the your application of funds. Okay? Basically, while you prepare the your fund flow statement, there are two financial years which are generally part of the that fund flow statement. Okay? The previous one, let's say 2024-25, and the current one 25-26. But when it comes to cash flow statement, it is generally part of that particular specific years. Let's say financial year 24-25, the beginning cash on hand at the beginning, at the end. But now when it comes to the preparation, so we have accounting standard 3 and Indian accounting standard 7, which made this journey a bit complex, right? So as per accounting standard 3 and 7, you have to prepare your cash flow statements, and they are further categorized among three different parts. These are your operating activities, financing activities, and investing activities, and the entire game is evolve around those three activities. If you know which activities belongs to operating activity or financing or investing, then game will be over. Very easy one. Again, we will be make our understanding again. So when it comes to accounting standards, we have these as per accounting standard 1 or your accounting standard 1 or Indian accounting standard 1. Okay? So companies, they need to prepare their final accounts or final reports, which include your first one is income statement, which is also known as profit and loss account. Okay? Profit and loss account, through which we get to know about the net profit or losses during that particular accounting period. Okay? The another one is balance sheet, which is also known as position statement. Okay? So when it comes to balance sheet, it is called position statement. Okay? So position आपका, we have equation asset equal to liabilities plus equity, right? This is the equation which we have already discussed. Now the third one is cash flow statement. Okay? So when it comes to the cash flow statements, okay, so we have to prepare cash flow statements as per the accounting standard, our accounting standard. So cash flow statements, okay, when it comes to cash flow statements, okay, so you need to prepare these particular one as per accounting standard 3, or when it comes to Indian accounting standard, it is आपका 7. ठीक है? Now, when it comes to cash flow statement, it is nothing. It is just आपका inflow and outflow of cash. So the sources from where businesses are basically making cash. The sources from where we are receiving cash and the sources where it is going out. So, but these two accounting standards, they generally made our journey a bit complex. So they clearly stated कि whenever companies they prepare their cash flow statement, they need to further categorize them among three activities. Three operating activities. Then financing activities and then investing activities. So how you like the format is something आपका operating activities total from operating activities, ठीक है, financing activities total of that, and आपका investing activities total of that. Then finally you have to do total of A plus B plus C. ठीक है, that means let's say it is A, this is B, and this is C. ठीक है, then this is the overall inflow outflow. Now what challenge you guys are going to face? You'll see they'll give you some entries. Let's say purchase, let's say we did purchase of raw material worth rupees 5 lakh. Okay. Let's say we did sale, let's say we did sales of rupees 12 lakhs. Okay. Now let's say we purchase machinery worth rupees let's say 10 lakhs. Okay. We purchase let's say we issue shares, ठीक है, issue shares during that particular period worth rupees 5 crores, ठीक है, and we have we have paid off loan, ठीक है, so paid loan, term loans worth rupees 50 lakhs, ठीक है, and let's say we paid dividend, okay? So paid dividends to shareholders, okay? Dividends to shareholders worth rupees let's say 1 crores, okay? Let's say we did the salaries and others, okay? Salary and other expenses worth rupees, suppose that 50 lakhs. Now you'll get these kind of entries, okay? So eventually these all are in and outflow, okay? Like if you are paying salary, it is outflow, right? If you are paying dividend, it is outflow. If you are purchasing, it is outflow. If you are doing sales, it is an inflow. Okay? If you are purchasing machinery, it is an outflow. If you are issuing shares, it is an inflow. If you are paying term loans, that means it is an outflow. This is not the challenge. The real challenge is like a purchase of machinery comes under which category. So that is the one. Now how examiner will ask you questions. There will be three type of questions. One type one is there is a business XYZ Limited, during that particular period they purchase machinery worth rupees 10 lakh. So or like which of the following is cash flow from investing activities, which of the following is a cash flow from investing activities, operating activities, or financing activities. Half marks question. Okay. Then another one is when the another set of questions which they asked in my session also. Together, the question was they generally give one table. Okay. So this is like one side they mention around the operating activities, financing activities, investing activities. This side we got these particular entries. Okay. Now what we have to do, we have to match this particular one and we got 2 marks for that particular one. Okay. I even still remember that one. That was the 100 number questions. After last question for 2 marks. So this was the question. Now the third type of question will be they'll give you amount. This is the amount aapka. This is the case study which is given in your question itself. Now based on this given information, you have to calculate cash flow from investing activities, or cash flow from operating activities, or cash flow from financing activity. The outcome is, first we need to know what comes under operating activity, what comes under financing activity, what comes under investing activity. If you have that much of clarity, so you will be able to solve each and every single question correctly, right? So now let's say when it comes to operating activities, these are core revenue generating activities, which is something somewhere around sale and purchase. Okay? Current asset and current liabilities changes. Financing activities, they make changes in overall equity and debt of that particular company. Liability means outside liability, ठीक है. So then third one is investing activity. So where we are investing in productive capacity of that particular business. Let's say we open one another office. That means we purchase property, plants, equipments, or any patents, goodwill, ठीक है. Or we sell our old plants, or we did investment in some other companies. So those all are your investing activities, ठीक है. So if it comes to this particular question, so salary, this is आपका operating activity. It is something related to operation. Paid dividends, it is your financing activity, ठीक है. It is an outflow. It is also an outflow, ठीक है. Your what was that? Purchase, ठीक है. Purchase of rupees 5 lakh. It is again operating activity and outflow, ठीक है. Operating activity outflow. Sales आपका operating activity outflow, ठीक है. Machine आपका it is investing activity and outflow, ठीक है. Issue shares आपका financing activity and inflow. Paid term loans आपका financing activity and outflow, ठीक है. So there can be two type of question, two type of numericals. One is based on the given information, you have to calculate cash flow from operating activities. Now they are asking you only for operating activity, right? So if they are asking for only for operating activity, that means we need to find out which out of which can be categorized under the operating activity. So now we know operating activity outflow, ठीक है. Then you have to eliminate this operating activity outflow. So the overall outflow is 55 lakhs. Operating activity outflow, ठीक है. So 55 plus 12, ठीक है. That means 67 lakhs, ठीक है. And so what will be your answer? 67 lakhs outflow, ठीक है. So the cash flow from operating activity is 67. No, we have, this is inflow, sorry, ठीक है. This is inflow. Sales is inflow, sorry, ठीक है. So sales is inflow. So your outflow is, now this is not the right answer, ठीक है. So outflow from operating activity is आपका, these are the outflows. The overall cash flow from operating activity, salary आपका 50 lakh outflow and purchase आपका 55 lakh is outflow. Out is how much? आपका 55 lakhs and in is how much? आपका the sales was 12 lakh, ठीक है. So 55 lakh minus 12 lakh, that is 37 lakh. So your answer will be cash outflow 37 lakh for this particular question. So, okay. So this is the one, or else they can ask you based on the given information, you have to calculate cash flow from investing activities. Okay. So investing activities. So we have investing activities one. Okay. Only one investing activity, that is an outflow. Okay. So your answer will be an outflow of 10 lakh rupees from investing activities. If they ask you to calculate on financing activity, so we have three entries. One is outflow 1 crores, inflow 5 crores and outflow आपका 50 lakhs, ठीक है. So your in is how much? आपका in is 5 crores through shares issue and out is आपका dividend plus आपका term loan 1.50 crores, ठीक है. 1.50 crores. So your answer will be cash inflow, ठीक है. So financing activities cash inflow how much? 3.50 crore. This will be your answer, ठीक है. So this is the things or this type of understanding you have to prepare while you prepare for JAIB AFM और आपका examination, ठीक है. They are not going to ask you the form, the what is the format things and others. That is not part of this, but this is something which is uses, and actually you are going to face these kind of questions based on your cash flow statement. Let's start the discussion and we will be talking around all these things, right? So first statement aapka, please quickly go through this one. So the statement of cash flow refer to changes in company's cash and equivalents from one to next year. Okay. So opening at the end. Okay. The cash flow will record a company's inflow and outflow of actual cash and equivalents. Okay. A cash flow investments or a cash flow statement is a financial statement that summarize the amount of cash and equivalents that entering and leaving a company. So that is all about your cash flow statement. Okay? So now they made some challenges when it comes to Accounting Standard 3 and Indian Accounting Standard 7 provide detailed guidelines for providing for preparing or presenting your cash flow statement. As per these standards, entities need to provide detailed guidelines for preparing cash flow statements along with the presentation and disclosure of cash flow information. Okay? So as per these accounting standards, companies, while they present or prepare their cash flow statement, they need to further categorize among operating activities, financing activities, and investing activities. Okay, this is the one, right? So these are the three type of activities. So basically, accounting standard 3 and 7, they made our journey a bit difficult. So when it comes to operating activities, these are core revenue generating activities. Like it is something related to our day-to-day operations. Or that means it is something related to your current assets and current liabilities, right? So let's say we did some purchase of raw materials or any other things. We did some sales, we purchased, we paid rent, we paid electricity bill, utility bill, or salaries and others. They all will comes under this one. Now, one thing you have to remember from this one, because people they get confused about that one many times. If you are receiving dividends, okay? So if you are receiving dividends, if dividend is coming in, so that will be part of operating activity. If your company is paying dividends, okay, if the money is going out, that will be part of financing activities. Please do remember this. Apart from this, like let's say if you paid some commission or you paid premium for insurance, you receive claim, everything is part of your operating activity. The another one is investing activities. So where we are making some sort of investment in our existing business, like let's say we purchase a machinery to enhance the capacity, we purchase or procure one patent of any XYZ product. So purchase, आपका purchase of property, plants, equipments, goodwill, copyrights, patents, all comes under this. And even from proceed of sale of these particular item, like we sold one a patent to someone else, or we sell the machinery or existing plant, so that will also come under this. Along with that, if you are in making some investment in other companies, let's say you have given loan of 10 crore rupees to ABC company, let's say we are XYZ company, okay? We have given loan to ABC company, so that will comes under investing, where investment is basically where we have some economic benefit with those particular expenses. Even if you are making investment in your assets, fixed asset, or else you are making investment in some other company shares, or you are giving loan to them. So that is generally part of this one. Inflow and outflow. The third one is financing activities. When it comes to financing activities, they directly impact your equity and liability. Okay? They'll make an impact on equity and liability. Okay? So how they'll make impact on equity and liability? Okay? So these are basically financing sources. Let's say we issue shares. Okay? We have issued shares. So that means your equity will increase worth rupees 5 crore. So your equity will increase by 5 crores. We have taken a loan. We have taken a loan from bank worth rupees 1 crore. Your liability will increase by 1 crore. Or the reverse cases, you did buyback of shares. That means your equity will come down by that particular point. You have paid off loan, so that will come down by this one. So they are generally part of this particular one. Okay? So before coming to the these or the categorization and all, so there are some accounting standards requirements. Let's have a quick look. Okay. So accounting standard 3 and accounting standard 7, which provide detailed guidelines for preparation of cash flow statement, they have categorized this आपका this. Okay. Two methods are used. One is direct method. I'll let you know about the direct methods, which is also known as gross method, where we are generally, while we preparing the cash flow statement, we are doing total of आपका in and out. Okay? So that is आपका also known as gross method. Okay? And indirect method आपका, which is also known as net method, where we are doing the adjustment. What is the outcome? Let's say we purchase 5 lakh rupees raw material, we sell 7 lakh. So we will add only 2 lakh rupees in case of your आपका outside outflow आपका 2 lakh rupees. In case of while you prepare cash flow statement using gross method, again, where what you'll do, आपका 5 lakh rupees out and 7 lakh rupees in. But in case of net method, you will mention only 2 lakh rupees. That is your insight. Okay? So accounting standards for this key points which are cash flow. This methods things we'll discuss with the operating activity also. Okay? I'll give you example also. Okay? Cash flow include movement between cash and equivalents which are part of cash management. Okay? A single transaction may involve differently classified as cash flow, like loan, repayments, interest and others. ठीक है, like loan is आपका financing activity inflow. ठीक है, repayment आपका repayments, it is financing it is inflow, sorry. ठीक है, and it is आपका repayment of interest, it is outflow, sorry. ठीक है, capital is inflow basically. ठीक है, that is also liability. Operating cash flow indicate an entity ability to sustain operations and investment. Investing cash flow is the fixtures and others. Financing cash flow help predict future capital claims. Foreign currency cash flow are recorded using the exchange rate at the transaction date. आपका which consists within the accounting standard 21. ठीक है, which deal with the Indian accounting standard 21, which deal with the foreign exchange transaction. This is kind of a summary with whatever we have discussed so far. ठीक है, now the real game will start from here. Now you have to be very careful and please pay your attention for next 10 minutes. So when it comes to this format is going to help you. Okay? So actually this is a kind of a format. Okay? So how we need to prepare the cash flow statements. Okay? So we have three type of activities. One is आपका operating activities. When it comes to operating activities like cash receivable from, these are core revenue generating activities of the business. Cash received from customers, cash paid to employees and suppliers, cash generated from operating activities, any profit, dividend received, interest received, interest paid or taxes paid during that particular one. Then the total of operating activities, cash flow from investing activities, purchase of machinery, proceed from sale of machinery, or purchase of property, plants, equipments, goodwill, or proceed from sale of these one, and even investment in other companies or sale of investment. Okay? Proceed from capital contribution, we issue shares, that is capital contributions. Okay? Proceed from loan, we took a loan, payment of loan or buyback of shares. Then you have to add all these particular one. This is a kind of a format. Okay? This you will be able to make your understanding just going through this. So first we will be going through one by one all the three type of activities. So very first one is operating activities. So as I said, these are the principal revenue generating activities of an organization other than activities which are included in investing and financing. Any cash flow from current assets and current liabilities. Okay? This is related to this. Now this list is kind of a brahmastra for all of you. Okay? So you have to build your understanding around all these things and please try to remember these ones. Okay? Because it will help you to answer any question if it is in case study form or if it is a half marks question. Okay? So operating activities, core revenue generating activities which majorly include like cash received from sale of goods. We did some sales, we received, so it is inflow from operating activity. Cash payment of suppliers, outflow from operating activity. We have purchased some let's say raw materials and others, so the obviously you have some obligations, so you have to pay them, that is outflow. Cash received from royalty, fee, commission, dividends and others. Cash payment to or on behalf of employees like salary or the other taxes or the other obligations, or employee benefit. Cash receipt and payment of insurance entity for premium. If you are paying premium, it is an outflow. If you are making some claim on insurance, it is an inflow. So these are some core operating activities. You have to remember this particular. You have to basically, I'll not suggest, I never suggest you a kind of rectification, but if you practice things now, I have added so many questions in even this session only. So if you'll go through those particular one again and again, or if you'll practice that unit wise practice, so you will be able to make this particular. Maybe one for in first go you will because you can attempt or reattempt those particular one n number of time. Okay? So this is the topic where you have to make like you have to attempt them again and again, because every time you'll attempt, you'll learn something, or you will be able to recall and memorize all these. Okay? So operating activities, now I told you around that direct and indirect. So the difference of direct and indirect is, this is your direct method and this is your indirect method. What is the difference? So let's say if we are doing let's say we purchase the raw materials and everything's worth rupees 10 lakh. We made a sale of आपका 15 lakhs. ठीक है? So your purchase is 10 lakh, sale is 15 lakh. The variance or difference is 5 lakh. ठीक है? So if you will record this particular one in your operating activity, you will go for आपका purchase, you will add 10 आपका and then you will show sale of 15 lakh. But while you use the indirect method, this is your direct method. Again, while you use indirect method, you'll use the outcome of that particular transactions. Okay? So we made profit or losses, or whatever the net amount is, that will be part of this one. Okay? So direct method, where major classes of gross cash receipt and payments are disclosed. In case of आपका indirect method, profit or losses is adjusted for the effect of transaction of non-cash nature, any deferrals or accruals of past or future operating cash receipt or payments also. This is very simple one. Okay? Chalo. Now the another one is investing activities. Okay? So when it comes to investing activities, as I told you, like this is something where we are building the capacity in the business. Okay? Let's say we are making we are expanding our business, we are opening a new office. Obviously you have to purchase machinery or the other things which is required to run that particular business. So that is something which is generally part of this one. Okay? And if you are selling existing plant, that means you will receive money. That is also part of this one. You have made some investment in the past, now you are selling those investments. So that is your inflow from investing activities, right? Any cash flow from the acquisition and disposal of long-term assets and other investments not included in cash equivalents. Okay? So majorly this is something around the property, plants, equipments or capital expenditures and all. Okay? So these are the major head. Now cash payment to acquire property, plants, equipments. Intangible means goodwill, patent, copyrights, trademarks or other long-term asset. Okay? Outflow, these all are outflow. Cash receipt from the sale of property, plants, equipments, goodwill, patent, copyrights. These are inflow from your आपका investing activities. ठीक है? Cash flow from sale of equity and debt instrument of other entities in joint ventures. This is not like, let's say if you are selling, or if you are let's say if you are issuing shares of your own company, that is financing activity. But what is mentioned here, please be careful around this, huh? Again, because people get so many times confused around this. Cash inflow from sale and equity instruments of other instruments, like other companies. Let's say you are a XYZ company and you purchase shares of ABC company. That is an outflow from investing activities. You already own shares of Reliance and you sell those particular one during that period. So that is आपका inflow from investing activities. ठीक है? Cash advances and loan made to other parties. ठीक है? You have given loan to ABC company or some others, from where you'll get some sort of interest and all. So that is generally comes under this particular one आपका. ठीक है? So that is generally part of this one. Next one, the final one is financing activity. Financing activities, as I said, they made impact on the company's equity and overall liability. Okay? So let's say if you issue shares, your equity will increase. If you buy back shares, equity will decrease. You take a loan, bank loans, your your liability will increase. Outside liability, borrowings will increase. If you paid off that particular loan, your basically your debt will decrease, right? So financing activities include activities that result in change in size and composition of contributed equity and borrowings of the entity, right? How it is. So financing cash flow typically include cash flow associated with borrowing and repaying of bank loan. If you are taking loan, so that is your inflow from financing activities. If you are repaying, outflow from financing activity. Issuing and buyback of shares. If you are issuing shares, आपका financing activity inflow. If you are buying back them, obviously you have to pay them the investors back, so that is outflow. The payment of dividend is also treated as financing activity. When you are receiving dividend, it is an operating activity. But when you are paying dividends as a company, that comes under the आपका financing activity. ठीक है? So these are some major areas like cash proceed from issuing of shares and other equity instruments like preference shares and others. Cash payments to owners to acquire or redeem, buy back the entity shares. Cash proceed from issuing debentures, loan, bonds, mortgage, and other short-term, long-term borrowings. Cash repayment of amount borrowed. So these are the areas which are generally part of your financing activity. This is it. You have done with 90% of this particular topic. Now, before coming to the practice part, we'll quickly discuss the fund flow statement also, because one question sometimes they ask around that one also. But 90%, this is my personal experience, guys. Please believe on that. So you will be saying like 90% time, what I have experienced, they ask 3 marks question only on based on cash flow statement. Sometimes what they'll do, they'll ask you questions around the differences between cash flow and fund flow statement. So that also we have to take care. Okay? So when it comes to fund flow statement, so here we have two major areas. One is sources of funds, like what are the sources of funds, means equity and liability, and application of funds, where we have utilized that particular funds. So there are two statements, or there is a comparison between two accounting period or financial year, or two periods, where we are doing keep from which sources we are getting money and where we are allocating that particular one, where we are utilizing that particular one. Okay? So the fund flow statement, two different meanings. One is the accounting purpose, while the other one is investment purpose. Okay? The fund flow record the movement of cash in and out of the company during two accounting period, which is missing here. Okay? So fund flow statement, sorry. A fund flow statement is a financial documents that analyze a company's balance sheet of 2 years to validate the movement of funds from previous year to current year. 2023-24 or 2024-25 and current year 2025-26. Okay? So how, like, what were the sources from where we get that money and where we have invested that one. Okay? In another word, it compared the source of inflow and outflow of funds during the concerned accounting period and analyze how it affect the working capital of an organization. Okay? It is not a compulsory documents to prepare or disclose. Okay? You do not, this is generally used for the internal decision making and all. Okay? You do not have to publish on your website. But when it comes to cash flow statement, it is mandatory. You have to have prepare and you have to share with the shareholders or stakeholders. Okay? This is one format, guys. So fund flow statement आपका, ठीक है, so particulars आपका sources of funds from and the application of funds. ठीक है, sources of funds like funds from operation means the profit which we have generated. So net profit. Then we have sale of fixed asset, sale of investment, issue of shares, debentures, long-term borrowings, decrease in working capital. These are the components of your sources of funds. Application of funds आपका, ठीक है, loan from operations, loan from operation, payment of dividends, payment of taxes, purchase of fixed asset, आपका payment of loan, redemption, and increase in working capital. So this was the source and this is the application. So from where we get that money and where we have applied that particular amount. So that is your आपका fund flow statement. Okay? So this is given in your book itself. Okay? So sources of funds आपका long term sources, increase in equity. We have issued equity and through that we get some money. So increase in reserve, profit from operation and others, or securities premium. Increase in long-term borrowing, we have taken loan from some institution. Decrease in working capitals, we have decreased the workings in others. Short-term sources, increase in short-term borrowings, decrease in current asset. When it comes to uses, so uses of funds आपका long term, decrease in equity, आपका decrease in reserve, decrease in long term borrowings and increase in current asset, and short term decrease in short term borrowings and increase in current asset itself. All right, guys. So this is something when it comes to your fund flow statement, it is showing how, like, what are the sources from where we are getting money and where we are using that particular one. Okay? Source, application. Okay? This is the one, and we do comparison between 2 years. Like I got one another chart on internet. So let's say ABC Limited आपका, so this is statement आपका sources and this is application. ठीक है, so now this is 21-22 previous year and this is current year. ठीक है, let's say it is 2024-25 and this is current year 25-26. ठीक है, so now these are the sources of funds. This was the status in this year and this is the status in this year. Application of funds, same. So this was the status in previous year and this is the current year status. So you are using this particular one to analyze the overall fundamentals of that particular business or using for the long-term decision making in the enterprise itself. Okay? So sources of funds, these are sources of funds like equity raise or long-term debt issued. We have issued shares or we have issued bonds, debentures through which we get money. Sale of fixed assets or investment. Here we have investments in some companies, we sell them, or we sold our fixed asset or that plant in others. Fund from operations, that revenue which we have generated and decrease in working capital. Similarly, application of funds आपका capital investment, we have made some investment in some other companies and others. Payment of long term debt, we have paid off the long term debt. Dividend distributions, आपका dividend increase in working capital. ठीक है, so this is all about your fund flow statement. Now the most important part which you will face maximum time in your examination, that is differences between cash flow and fund flow statement. ठीक है, whenever they ask, like this is my 90% time they have asked, whenever they pick the fund flow statement, they generally ask the major differences between cash flow and fund flow, and most of the time it is for 1 marks or 2 marks. Okay? And here it is, and you will get the exact word also because it is from your book itself. Okay? So cash flow statements, it is integral part of financial statement which is mandatory in nature, right? And not mandatory requirements, not a part of financial statement. Cash flow from operating, financing, and investing, we have this kind of segregation, but here we do not have any sort of segregation. Determine the cash position at the big end of the accounting period. Again, determine the changes in working capital through specified period or between two financial years. Use the cash system and it used accrual system. Cash system is when it is received, then we realize it is, we expect the future inflows also. Help in understanding the liquidity position of a business. It helps assessing the long-term financial strategy of that particular business. Okay, that is all about this. Okay, chalo. Now this part will, I have included so many questions and I'll be keep creating. We are preparing the second set also for questions. Okay. Soon, once we're done with this thing, I'll upload that particular one also in your practice sessions as well. So now the next one is, first we will be discussing some question. I hope ki you will be able to solve. If you have listened things carefully and if you have built your understanding, you will be able to answer 100% questions. Okay? At least आपका 70-80%. So let's start the discussion. First one is identify the correct cash flow statement category. Repayment of loan. Okay? It is for half marks. Repayment of loan. Okay? That means it is financing activity, it is an outflow. Okay? So what will be your correct answer? C will be right answer for this one. Okay? It is an outflow from financing activities. Okay? Next one. What is cash outflow from investing activities in the given situation? Okay? Now this question is very simple. Okay? So again for 1 marks. Purchase fixed asset, we purchase fixed asset, property, plants, equipments, part of investing activities. Purchase investment in other businesses, part of investing activities. Proceed from sale of intangible asset, आपका 12 lakh, part of investing activities. That means you just have to do the plus minus. That means 30 lakhs minus 12 lakhs. That is your 18 lakhs is your answer. Okay? So option B will be correct answer for this particular. Sometimes they can ask you this type also. You will be very lucky in that case. Okay? But we will be practicing other question also. Okay? Which of the following statement are true regarding the role of cash in business operation? Cash is primarily used to ensure that daily operation of business run smoothly for to provide necessary liquidity. True, a business can remain profitable even if its cash flow is negative for a long period. No, okay. So this is wrong. Okay. Cash flow statement provide information about cash position at beginning, at the end. True. 1 in 3 means आपका option C will be right answer for this. Very simple one. Even if you haven't gone through the topic itself, you will be able to answer this one, or anyone can. The role of cash in business, one more question. Profit is the same as cash generation in the business operations. No, it can be differ also. Again, the cash equivalents are highly liquid short-term instruments. Yes, cash equivalents are marketable securities which can be converted into cash anytime, like gold. So that is the one. Profit is the same as cash generation in the business. No, it can be differ. Sometimes your profit is high but your cash generation is very low. It can be reverse also. Your cash generation is high, your cash inflow outflow are very high. You are doing so many sales, so many purchase and others, let's say crores and others, your profit is in lakhs. It can be. Or else your investment, your inflow outflow is very less but your overall numbers are very good. So only statement 2 should be right answer for this one. Okay? Because profit and cash generation are not the same. A company cash show profit but still face cash flow issues and all. So sometime it happened. Okay? So where basically you have invested things in long terms in others, you might face that kind of issue. Which of the following statement about cash flow from operating activities are not true? Incorrect statement. This kind of question, 1 marks. Okay? So cash flow from operating activity includes cash received from sale of goods and rendering services. It is true. It is true. Okay? We have to find out incorrect statement here. The decrease in current liabilities result in an increase in cash flow over operating activities आपका. ठीक है? So this is wrong. It should be आपका decrease in current liability will decrease the cash flow. ठीक है? Yes. So this should be wrong. The purchase of raw material on credit increase working capital but does not immediately affect cash. ठीक है? So it increase the working capital. Purchase of raw materials on credit increase the working capital. It increase but it will affect the cash also because it is both are current assets and current liabilities. So 2 and 3, do we have? Yes, B should be right answer. Okay, C is the right answer. Sorry. Yeah. Purchase of raw material on credit increase. So statement 1, cash received from sale of goods, services, operating activities. No. Okay, there is some mismatch in this question and all. Okay. The purchase of raw material on credit increase working capital but does not affect its. Okay. Okay, that is means this is that does not affect the cash. Okay, this is right, guys. Sorry, my bad. We have to correct this one. So as per the explanation, this is true. A decrease in current liabilities result. This is false. So a decrease in current liabilities increase the cash flow. So that means only 2. Do we have only 2? No. So what they have mentioned, C. C means आपका 1 and 3, which is true. 1 and 3 are true. So we have 2 options. We have to change the option itself. So it is true. If it is true, so your answer will be option C. Okay? Not this. Sorry. Next one. Which of the following statement about cash flow from operating activities, core revenue generating activities, cash flow from operating activities do not include receipt and payment from insurance? They do include. They are part of this one. Incorrect statement again. Okay? So आपका receipt of and payment of insurance premium and claim are part of operating activities. Cash payment or refund of income tax are classified under operating activities unless identified with investing and others. True. Cash received from the sale of fixed asset are classified operating activity. No, it is आपका asset. It is investing activities. Okay? So this is also wrong. What we have to 1 in 3. 1 in 3 means option C will be right answer for this. There is some issues with this options. The 1 is false and this is also false. The answer is correct. So this is wrong. This should be the part of the previous one if it is incorrect. Next one. Which of the following is true regarding cash flow? Cash payments to acquire property, plants, equipments are considered cash outflow from investing activities. True. Cash received from sale of short-term investment are classified as inflow from investing activities. Cash payment for future contract related to hedging activities are classified as investing activities. uh, cash this cash payment for future contracts relating to hedging activities are classified as your investing activities. Hedging investing activity. Okay, I'm little bit doubtful. 1 and 2 are true. Okay, so only 1 and 2 are true. Okay, see, 1 and 2, this is wrong. This is part of your आपका financing activity, right? So incorrect आपका cash future payments related to hedging classified under the same manner of hedge position, not investing activities until they are specified. Okay, the rest two statements are true. Which of the following statement are true regarding cash flows? Again, cash received from repayment of loan. Cash received from repayment of loan made to other parties are considered cash inflow from operating activities. No, it is investing activities. Okay? So the question is cash received from repayment of loan made to other parties. Okay? We have given loan to some other parties and they have repaid that particular one. Okay? So it is inflow from investing activity. Cash received from sale of equity instruments of other entities are classified investing activity. They are investing activity. Okay. So what is they have mentioned? Cash received from the sale of equity instrument of other entities. So this is investing activity. Okay. True. Both are wrong. Okay. So neither one or not two are correct. So D will be right answer for this particular. Both statement are incorrect in this case. Okay. First one is आपका investing activity and another one is also investing activity. आपका next one, a company issue bonds to raise funds. So to cash flow from the transactions would be classified under bonds. Bonds is a form of debt. Debt is part of your आपका financing activity. So what will be your correct answer? Financing activity. Let's say your company issue bonds worth rupees 50 crore. So what they are doing? They are raising funds from the market. They are borrowing money from the market, right? So that is the one. Next one. Which of the following statements are true regarding accounting standard 7, the preparation of cash flow statement? So the entity must prepare cash flow statement if it required to follow accounting standards. The direct method is only a acceptable method for no. We have direct and indirect both. आपका both can be used. Cash flow exclude movement between items that are part of cash management like investments in cash equivalents. Same. Cash flow exclude movements between items that are part of cash management like investment in cash equivalents. Okay. Cash flow cash flow of this can be right again. So cash flow from financing activities include interest payment and capital repayment of loan. This is also true. Okay? So 1, 3, 4 D should be right answer. No. Achha, okay, so we made some mistake here. Fourth one is right. Cash flow from financing activities include interest payment and capital repayment of loan. So that is आपका financing activity. Again, there is some issue I guess with this answer also. So a correct first statement because business entity follow accounting standard prepare this true. Statement 3 आपका cash flow exclude movements between cash and equivalents. So they are part of this. Cash flow exclude movements. This was correct. Yeah. And then 2 were wrong. Yeah. 2 were आपका false. Yeah. Because both direct and indirect methods are allowed. Fourth one, why it is false? Only capital repay. Achha, okay. Only capital repayments. Cash flow from the financing activities include interest payment and capital repayments. Capital repayments is part of this. Interest payment is part of operating activity. Sorry. So now 1 in not 1 in 4. आपका 1 in 3. So B even B will be right answer for this particular one. Okay. Right, 1 in 3, that is B. Identify which of the following statement are true with respect to fund flow and cash flow statement. All item on liability side of balance sheet represent sources of funds. 100% true. Again, this we have discussed in balance sheet statement also. Again, sources of funds like liability side, borrowings or capital and others. Again, an increase in asset item always indicate a source of funds. No, it is not necessary. Again, a decrease in any liability item represent a use of funds. This is also true. 1 and 3 C will be right answer for this one. Okay. Next one. Identify which of the following statement are true with respect to fund flow and cash flow statement. Cash is considered an unutilized portion of funds in balance sheet. True. If you are having cash in your balance sheet, that means that is unutilized. Okay. So the fund flow statement requires segregation into, no, it does not require any segregation. Cash flow statement required. Again, cash flow statement is integral and mandatory part of the financial statement. True. 1 and 3 means aapka C will be right answer for this particular one. Next one. Which of the following match is correct? Okay. So you have to match with each other. So redemption of preference shares, it comes under financing activity. It is an outflow here. Loan and advances granted, so it is investing activity and outflow here. Payment to creditors, आपका operating activity and outflow. Payment to creditors, आपका operating activity outflow. Yes, true. Yeah. Issuance of shares, आपका financing activity and inflow, right? So this is the one. So the correct match given out of the 5 options are option D, payment to creditors, which is an outflow from operating activities. Correct? So D will be right answer. Next one. This type of question, actually exact this type of question was there. Again, I have shown you in that some introduction session of module B also. So match the following. So particulars: redemption of preference shares, it is financing activity and outflow. Payment to creditors, operating activity, outflow. Again, loan and advances granted, investing activity and outflow. All entries are outflow. Again, so financing activity 1 and payment operating activity and आपका this. So 1 no, 1 yes, and B is 3, B is 3, C is आपका 2. So D will be right answer for this particular questions. Okay, so D will be right answer for this one. Next one. ABC Corporation Manufacturing Company, during the year, the company made a following investing activities. Okay? So sold a piece of machinery 20,000, purchase a new manufacturing facility 1,50,000, acquire patent of new product 10,000, made a long-term investment in shares of another company 30,000. So you have to prepare the cash flow statement from for this from investing activities for ABC company. Very simple, plus minus only, right? So piece they sold, this is inflow. Okay? Purchase raw material outflow. So 1,50,000 outflow is higher. Okay? Acquire this, again आपका outflow 1,60,000, 1,90,000. 1,90,000 minus 20,000, 1,70,000. So cash outflow from investing activities 1,70,000. Okay? Cash outflow from investing activities 1,70,000. That will be your right answer in this particular case. Okay? Just a minute. Next one, guys. Create cash. Okay, this question we have discussed, I guess. Yes. So cash investing activities, fixed assets आपका 20 lakhs, investment 10 lakhs. No, we haven't discussed this. This is for 2 marks. If you correctly answer this question, you will get 2 marks. Okay, try. So create cash flow from investing activities using the given information. Now there is information given about the ABC company. Now based on this given information, you have to calculate investing activity. Now you have to apply that things. You have to do the segregation. Not necessarily all the transactions given in this particular case will comes or fall under the investing activity. Might be someone belongs to operating or your aapka financing activity. If you know to find out like what comes under what, you will be able, and for believe me, you will get 2 marks for that one, right? So purchase of fixed asset 20 lakhs, purchase of investment 10 lakhs, final dividend paid 25,000, payment of loans 2 lakh, proceed from sale of intangible asset 12 lakh. So first what we have to do, we have to segregate this one. Okay, so first purchase of fixed asset, it is आपका investing activity and outflow. ठीक है, purchase of investment in other company आपका outflow. Final dividend paid, so what it is आपका financing activity. When we receive dividend, it is operating activity. When we pay dividend, it is आपका financing activity. So financing activity outflow. Payment of loan, again financing activity outflow. Proceeds from the sale of intangible asset, we have sold some patent, goodwill, copyrights, आपका inflow, investing activities. So now that means to solve this question, you have to eliminate these two entries. So if you are able to find out this particular one, now plus minus everybody knows. So 30 lakhs minus 12 lakhs. So your answer will be 18 lakhs. So 18 lakh cash outflow. So 18 lakh cash outflow will be right answer for this particular one. So cash outflow of 18 lakhs because their inflow is only 12 lakhs. All right, understood guys? Yes or no? So see, it is clearly mentioned here, note as a note. Final dividend paid and repayment of loan comes under the component of financing activity, not the investing activity. Right? Next one. Which of the following is an inflow from financing activity? Inflow from financing activity. Cash received from customers, operating activity. Cash proceed from issuing shares, आपका financing activity. Answer is B. Cash paid for the acquiring patents, आपका investing activity. Outflow. ठीक है. Sale of property, plants, equipments, investing activity. Inflow. So B will be right answer for this particular question. Next one. Which of the following is not classified under cash flow from operating activity? Not classified, right? So, cash received from sale of goods, operating activity. Cash paid to employee, operating activity. Cash received from issuing आपका equity shares, आपका financing activity. That means answer is C. Cash payment to suppliers, operating activity. Cash received from commission आपका operating activity. So option C will be right answer for this particular one. Next one. Consider the following statement regarding the preparation of fund flow statement. An increase in liability over the previous year is considered source of funds. I guess we have solved this question. A decrease in current asset is treated as long-term sources. No. A decrease in current assets is treated as long term. No, it is आपका wrong. A depreciation during the year adjusted determine the change in fixed asset. Dividend paid during the year treated as uses of funds, आपका true. Sale of fixed asset is recorded as use of sale of fixed asset is आपका sources of funds. ठीक है. So do we have 134 134 134? So D should be right answer for this one. Correct here. Next one. Which of the following method report major classes of gross cash receipt and payment? So we have आपका indirect, direct method. When it is it is about the gross method, gross cash receipt and payment. So it comes under the indirect. When it is net, we have direct method. Okay? Sorry, आपका indirect method. Direct method. This is about the option E. Next one. Which of the following is a cash outflow from investing activities? So investing activities, payment of dividends, financing activity, acquisition of property, plants, equipments, investing activity, cash paid to suppliers, operating activity, repayment of borrowings, financing activity, issuance of shares, financing activity, right? So what will be your correct answer? B will be right answer for this particular one. Next one. What is the net cash flow investing activities? This is also for ABC operations. Sale of machinery 20,000, purchase of facility 1,50,000, patent acquisition 10,000, long term investment 30,000. So what we have to create? आपका investing activity, sale of machinery, आपका this is investing activity, purchase of facility means property, plants, equipments, investing, rent, patent acquisition, investment, all are investment activities, right? So what you have to do, you have to add these one. So 1,50,000, 1,60,000, 1,90,000, 1,90,000 minus 20,000, 1.70 lakh outflow. So an outflow of आपका 1,70,000. B will be right answer for this one. Next one. Which activity result in change in contributed equity and borrowings? So your financing activity. Very simple. Next one. A company issue bond to raise funds. Financing activity. Next one. Consider the following statement: benefit of cash flow information. Cash flow statements help user evaluate change in the net assets and financial structure of an entity. Cash flow information is useful for suppliers to assess the profitability. No, for them we need operating cycle. Banker can use cash flow statement. True. So 1 in 3. 1 in 3 means option C will be right answer for this one. Next one. Which of the following transactions would appear under the financing activity? Purchase of machinery, आपका investing activity; sale of goods on credit, operating activity; issuance of equity shares, आपका financing activity; payment to suppliers, operating activity. So C will be right answer for this one. Next one. Cash flow activities of a firm are further categorized among आपका 3 categories: operating, investing, and financing. Which of the following correct entry reference to operational activities in cash flow statement? Operating activities, operational activities. Cash received from sale of goods, operating. Cash payment to supplier, operating. Cash received from royalty fee commission, operating. All will be right answer for this particular one. Next one. Which of the following is correct with respect to cash flow from investing activities? Cash proceed from issuing shares, financing activity, right? Cash payment to acquire property, plants, equipment, investing activity. Cash receipt and payment of an insurance, operating activity. Cash received from royalties fee, operating activity, right? So B will be right answer for this one. Next one. uh, so create cash flow from investing activities using this: purchase 20 lakhs, purchase of investment 10 lakh, final. Okay, this we have solved. Okay, sorry. Cash outflow आपका 18 lakhs. As per the cash flow statement, dash activities are principal revenue producing, so operating activities. Accounting Standard 3 and Indian Accounting Standard 7, which generally deal with the preparation and presentation of cash flow statements. Dash activities as per the cash flow include activities that result in change in size and composition of contributed equity and borrowings. So what will be your correct answer? Financing activities. Okay. Next one. Okay, this is it. So this is all about your cash flow and fund flow statement. Okay. If you have understood this, you do not need to worry. For sure, you guys are going to score 3 marks in your upcoming examination. I hope you enjoy the session, and I hope you guys are watching these particular sessions on regular basis. Believe me, if you'll follow this entire series, you will be able to score very good marks in your upcoming examination. I'm doing whatever is required for this examination, not less, not more. Okay? So we know we have limited time, and how to utilize that particular time in a best manner, that we are doing here, right? So now I'll see you tomorrow with our next unit, unit number 17, which is all about final accounts of a banking company. So in that next session, we will be discussing around section 29 of Banking Regulation Act 1949, Form A, Performa Balance Sheet, 12 schedules, and Form B, Profit and Loss Accounting, which is where we have 6 schedules, right? So we will be discussing all these particular one, and we'll be building our understanding so we can solve each and every single exam question. All right, guys. So this is it from my side. Thank you for joining the session. Thank you for watching the session. Bye bye. Take care all. Have a nice day. Thank you.